So after suffering defeat at the hands of the Genestealer cult, the Space Wolves have pulled back and regrouped. And of course the Genestealer cult advances are still being made through this sector of the planet. And they are advancing on to the next mission. So the mission is going to be number 5. Play the ambush mission. Isn't that the one? No, we played feint. So ambush. Right, so here we go. This is my kill team for this mission. And I've got Groused, the leader with a shotgun, level 2 leader. We have Basque Black with a hand flamer, who is the comms specialist acolyte. We have a neophyte heavy weapons team, Guardlinger, Sabin Guardlinger. We've then got a level 2 combat specialist, Xandus Venner with a rock cutter. And then we've got 2 acolytes with rock saws, 2 neophytes, one with a shotgun, and a metamorph with a bone sword and lash whip. And that is my total points and kill team for this mission. Right, so here we go. This is the Space Wolves today. Dylan?
Okay, as Uric Wormslayer was out of action convalescing for this term, the comm specialist intercessor is going to take over for the mission. Doesn't get any bonuses for leadership or anything, he's just staying as a comm specialist.
Yeah.
He's going to be buddying up with his grenade toting
Demo
specialist. And then we will have a scout specialist this term from the Reavers over here.
Yeah.
Then we will have a second Reaver.
Yeah.
And last of all, just a Reaver armed with a bolt carbine.
And then 1 intercessor.
And 1 intercessor to join the fight.
So here we go. Dylan has elected to be the defender, so he gets to deploy in this zone here, and he has to get off this table edge. But Dylan,
scouting phase.
Scouting phase.
So neither of us get it.
No.
Council's out.
That's interesting that you went for that, because I'm surprised that you expected me to move.
Well,
fair enough. So Dylan's going to place the first model because he lost the roll off, and then we'll start and deploy my guys. Right, so here we go with mission 2. Dylan has put his Reaver, his intercessor, comm specialist, demo guy, Reaver.
Yeah, and scout.
Scout down there. I get to use my cult ambush special rule. On a 5+, I basically get to move guys. So this guy, yep, he gets to move. So he, of course, is going there. The next guy over, nope. Metamorph, nope. Combat specialist, nope. Comms guy can, and the heavy weapons team can, but I'm going to leave him there, and my leader's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's it. So it now comes down to initiative, Dylan. Who is going first? Well, I roll a 4, which means you're probably going to beat me.
Yes.
With a 10, he gets to go first. So Dylan's going to get to move his models first. Okay, so Dylan used the Scout Specialist one. Quick march to add 2 inches to his move, and he rolled a 4 for his advance, which means he went 12 inches in total. He's readied these guys and then got a 2-inch advance with him. Even with a 12-inch advance, he can't get off this table edge. He's about ½ an inch short. So I don't have to deal with him this turn, but next turn I definitely have to. Movement phase. I'm going to charge with this guy at him. So do you wish to retreat or overwatch?
We're Overwatch.
Okay, so 2 shots with the bolt rifle. 6s.
No.
Nothing. Charge distance.
Yes.
6. Oh yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just lie that barrel down. Look, there's pink glitter everywhere off Lucy. Mad.
I'm surprised she's not been round and added a little bit of pink to your...
Yeah, she's not getting anywhere near me, Genestealer cold.
A bit of pink glittery varnish on it.
This guy's going to attempt to charge. He needs a 7 to make it round to him. He gets it with a 10.
be an overwatching to him.
Couldn't see him. So you
yes.
can't. Genestealer could actually have a stratagem to allow you to overwatch if you can't see them. And then I'm going to ready these two guys, I think. 12 inch for the shotgun. No, I'm out of range with the shotgun, so the shotgunner is going to move up to there. But he will ready. So my heavy specialist is also going to ready. But do I get a command point from my comm specialist being level 2? I do. So 3 command points. I know exactly what I'm doing with the 3. So he's ready and he's ready. And my combat specialist is going to move up to there. Stay obscured though. So that is it.
He's ready.
Heavy guy and that guy. So you now get to fire first.
He can't shoot.
He can't shoot because he's now in combat.
He can.
Right, so first shot is going to be the grenade specialist here. Dylan can't use any command points because he only generates 1 per turn without having a leader. But the demo specialist gets +1 to wound against these. We've looked it up in the grenade launcher. Says that you use the grenade profile but range 30. Grenades apparently don't suffer the penalty for -1 to hit.
Which is tasty.
Yeah.
Grenade launchers are definitely a thing to go for in this game.
You're still at -1 because I'm obscured, but you said you were going to use a frag grenade against all these?
Yep.
Okay, so D6 shots for 2.
Use 2.
And you said you were going for the leader. Which other one we want to hit?
We go for the leader and who's next to him?
Comm specialist.
And the comm specialist.
Okie doke, so 1 each. Or do you want 2 on the leader, or?
We'll have 1 each.
Okay, so against the leader, just 1. You hit, your strength 3 normally. So 4's to wound normally, +1 because I'm in cover, and the comms guy gets that rule.
Yeah.
So 1 wound, and I get a 5 up save, which I pass. And then the comm specialist hits, 3's to wound, wounds, and I fail me save. So what do? Takes a flesh wound. Nice. I will then fire back with this guy, and I'm going to spend 2 command points to use the heavy weapons specialist stratagem. In fact, I'm not, because he's not level 2, he's only level 1. So I am going to use the level 1 heavy tactic, which means I get 1 extra shot. And of course I am using the seismic cannon up at this guy. I'm using the comm specialist to get +1 to hit.
Tasty.
-1 to hit though, because believe it or not, he is slightly obscured from this. So I hit with 3. I'm only strength 3, so I'm wounding on 5s. That's the problem. And I will command point reroll 1 of them. That's 1 wound, no AP. 3 up save.
Yep.
Passed it. Yeah, and then it's back to you for somebody to shoot next. So you've got one of these 2 guys here to choose. Right, so Dylan's going next with the comm specialist. 2 shots with the bolt rifle into him. He's within 15 inches, so no -1 because of the range. But in fact, that should have been a further -1 because I was more than half range.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 shots. These guys are obscured.
So it ignores the half range, doesn't it?
No, my weapon.
Ah, right.
So you're shooting me, but you're at -1 to hit, so you're hitting on 4s. 2 hits, yeah. 3's to wound. 2 wounds, -1 for the bolt rifle, and I failed both them. So you roll 1 dice.
Just 1.
Just 1. The additional ones, and he's out of action. Bang, just like that.
Clink.
Yeah. So I will go next with the grenade launcher. Crack grenade up into him. More than half range, so I'm hitting on 5s. That's a hit. That is a failed wound. Nah, I'm not re-roll it. And then you've got this Reaver to shoot back with. Reaver, 2 shots with the bolt carbine even into him. So 3s because I'm not obscured and I'm not within half. I'm within half range. 1 hit.
And that was a 2.
Yep. 3s to wound. No wound. So I'll go back with the shotgun guy at him. You're more than half range away, so I need 5s. And I miss.
Turn.
Yes.
No, combat.
He can shoot, but there's nobody within range. So, yeah, that's it.
It's combat.
Yeah, you get to go first. No, because I charged.
You charged, you get...
So I'm going to go with this guy up here first. 4s. 2s. That's -4 and it's 2 damage. So he's out of action.
Straight away.
Rock saws are so good. Nice. And then I get to go with the metamorph down here. 3 attacks. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. -2 for the bone saw. So 2 wounds. Yeah. Pass 1, fail 1, so you lose a wound.
Yeah.
I don't roll any damage because you're not reduced to 0 wounds yet.
Oh, okay.
Because intercessors and reavers have 2 wounds. So the only reason that I was rolling the flesh wound thing on him is because I reduced him to no wounds.
You just ints them straight away.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
really good.
so it'd be Reaver attacking back.
Yep, so Reaver gets 3 attacks. Oh.
That's bouncy as hell.
So, but that's Lucy's fault. She put cardboard in the bottom. So all 3 hit. 3s to wound. That is 3 wounds. And so you wound me. I'm reduced to 0 wounds twice, so you roll 1 dice. Let's see what you do to me. No! He's out of action already as well. Wow. So now it's the morale phase. I haven't lost half of my guys, so I don't need to take it. You haven't lost half of your guys.
No.
Nobody has flesh wounds. Well, sorry, I've got 1, but it's not enough to force me to lose me morale. So battle round 2, I get 5. You beat me. So Dylan goes first. Right, so Dylan spent his command point to use the scout move on this guy, and then he rolled a 5 for his run. Total of 13 inches, gets him way off the board. Next up though, this guy is going to be charging here. I think you probably need about a 9. Yep, 10 makes it in there. And of course I've got nothing to overwatch with. Next up, so Dylan's also charged this guy in here, and these 2 guys have readied. Start of my moving phase, I've moved this guy forward so that we can just see the comm specialist. He's going to be hitting him on 6s, but there you go, and he's left up there. Down here though, I'm going to chuck my acolyte comm specialist guy into him, and I make it in on a 7. Try and force an extra target on him. Right. Shooting phase. So I've got a few things that I'm going to do here. This guy is, in fact, I'm not going first. I'm sorry, you are.
That's alright.
So I'm guessing frag grenade.
Yep.
Into these 2.
Into those 2 because they're in cover.
And of course using the comm specialist guy for +1 to hit, they're in cover, he gets +1 to wounds. D6 shots. For 3, how many where?
2 on your leader.
Yep.
And 1 on
the heavy.
On the heavy.
Cool. So 2 on the leader, hitting on 2s. 1 hit, wounding me on 3s. That's a wound. And that's a failed save. What do you do to him? Ah, leader down, leader down. And then 1 shot at the heavy weapon team guy. Hits. Wounds. Failed. Don't do it. That's
Yeah,
a 1.
It's flesh wound.
But it's still important because...
He's nice accurate now.
Yep. So he's the next ready guy, so he's going to have to shoot. I'm going to use the command point for him to allow me to have an extra shot. The comm specialist is going to give him +1 to hit. But I'm at -2 because I've got a flesh wound and he's in cover. So +1 -2 means I'm still hitting on 5s. 3 hits. I'm strength 3. Oh! I'm hitting on 6s because I'm at half distance as well. That's a wound. No AP. Fine. And then back to you with him. So just your bolt rifle. So this guy's within half range.
And he's not obscured from...
But you can get 1 long shot at him, but you'd be hitting on 5s.
There we go, within half range in 2 shots.
Him? Yep.
Yep. I know he's a distraction, but it all helps.
Fair enough.
Both hit.
Yep. 3s to wound.
1 wound.
At -1. That is a failed save. And he's out of action. Damn.
Is that half your team yet?
Nope. 1 more. I've got shots to go back then, basically. He's got 1 grenade, crack grenade, up at him. 6s. Hits. 3s. Wounds. -1.
Oh.
D3 damage. Oh, it's only 1. I will command point reroll that. For 3. So that drops me to 2 command points. And because it does 3 damage, it reduces you to no wounds. So I roll 3 dice and pick the highest. 4 takes him out of action. So he's out of there. Which means you have to get your last 3 guys off the board to win. It's combat phase. Dylan's going after the guy with a cutter. 3 attacks. Is he a specialist of any sort? No, he's not, is he?
No.
Nothing.
Oh, man.
And you've got no command points
No
either, have you?
command points, that is just
Wow.
whiffing in the air.
So I will go back with the comm specialist acolyte. I've only got 2 attacks with my rending claws. I hit with 1. I wound, and that's a 6, which means it's -4. So he takes 1 wound. So not a flesh wound, just a normal wound. Because I haven't reduced you to 0 yet. Right. Which means then you get to go back with this guy. So just 2 attacks on him. Hits. 1 wound, not 2 wounds because that's a 6.
Yep.
5 up. Both go through, so 1 dice. Out of action, what? That's me 5. This guy is now going to attack him. I will command point 1. So it drops me 1, that's a hit. That's a failed wound. I'm going to use my last command point. There we go. And I think the rock cutter... This book is so hard to find stuff in.
Should be 2 or 3, I think. Minus.
That's what I'm trying to find out, because I know it's not quite as powerful as the saw. In fact, I rolled a 2 to wound, so if it's not strength 8... Where is it? Rock cutter. Strength times 2. -4, 2 damage. Roll a d6 each time the model suffers damage from this weapon. If you roll higher than the remaining number of wounds, it's instantly taken out of action.
Ooh, snipped in half.
Oh. So each time you suffer damage from the weapon, so I've done 1 lot of damage to you. If you roll higher than the model's remaining wounds...
So if you roll higher than a 1...
then you're out of action. I think that works like that.
You do?
Yep.
Out of action.
So out of action. So that's actually quite nasty as well, isn't it?
It is. They're weak, but they've got some real nasty weapons.
definitely. I like them. I like the cutters and the saws. And had I not killed him, I probably, you know what, I should have left the command point and then just attacked again rather than re-rolling, shouldn't I? But then it's on a 4+, so, which, if I'm correct, Dylan,
means I can't win.
Means you physically can't win.
No.
Do you want to go for the moral victory and shoot some Steelers?
Yeah, because if you've got nobody left, you can't win either, can you?
No, because in fairness, I am below half.
Yeah.
My highest leadership is 7, so I could break. There we go, I break. So nerve test on him at -2. He fails. This guy fails. This one fails. This guy also fails.
Oh.
So I basically can't do anything.
So you call that a draw or?
Well, no, because I still win because you physically can't.
Interesting with the auto
Even
wins
though
on the scenarios.
Well, you have to get half your team off the board, and you physically can't because I've killed 3. You've got what? Have I killed 3?
Laying down, you've killed 3.
You've got to get more than half your team off the board. Which
so with a small team, this is a difficult scenario. You've just got to run.
In fairness, obviously you've got intercessor marines. They normally are quite good, but I think me having rock saws and rock cutters.
See, I was trying to bounce into combat and then bounce out, so he was protected from shooting and everything.
You know what? Even weight of dice should kill
Yeah.
the neophytes quite and acolytes quite quickly. With a 5-up save at toughness 3, you don't get a lot. But if you let them attack, I think there's a lot to be said about them. And I think if I was to go back and rebuild the kill team from the beginning, I would put a lot more of them in, even just for the normal guys.
Well, you're giving them the chance to just auto take out every combat.
You've just got to hit, and then more stuff you're wounding on 2s.
Well, mind you, the rock saw was pretty much doing that as well.
Yeah, because of the -4 flat 2 damage. So that is the end of mission 2. Another victory for the Genestealer cult. What was that mission called? It was called Ambush. We forgot about these stratagems. There's one for defenders called Slink Away. Use this stratagem, start your moving phase, choose a model, roll a dice, and on a 6 he escapes. But you've got like a 16% chance of that succeeding. And I think had you been generating 2 command points, probably would have been worth it. So the defender can move their models off the edge of the battlefield, labelled escape route in the movement phase. If the model's move is sufficient to take wholly off the edge of the battlefield. Victory conditions. If at the end of the battle more of the defender's models escaped than did not. So basically you have to get more off than not escaping. So because I've took 3 out of action, you can't get more than did not escape. So if the attacker wins the mission, the defender loses 1 intelligence and 1 territory. Oh, am I the defender?
No,
I was the attacker. So you were the defender. So you lose 1 intelligence and 1 territory as well. But these 2 guys took flesh wounds, so we need to find out what happens with the comm specialist and the heavy weapons specialist. So comm specialist, D10.
So 1 intelligence down.
1 intelligence and 1 territory. So I rolled a 10, so because he's a specialist, he actually gets 1 more experience, which actually levels him up. I didn't use any of the stratagems for him in this game, so I generate 1 for simply using him, plus I get an additional 1, which actually puts me on 4 experience, which actually levels him up now to level 3. He's a level 3 comm specialist now. So the heavy weapon team did. He also used his stratagem, which means he gets 1. And the rock cutter. That was my combat specialist as well. So he gets 1 experience simply for that. So the heavy weapon guy, does he survive? He rolls a 6 and then rolls a 2. He has to miss the next mission. Bet you're glad about that.
Yes.
So he's convalescence. Me leader. My leader rolls an 8, so he's fine. This guy rolls a 9. What's a 9? A 9 does something good, doesn't it? In the campaign. Everything's so hard to find in this book. He makes a full recovery, and if he was a specialist, he gains it. He wasn't. This guy, 2, he has to miss the next game as well. He has to miss the next game, and the other rock saw, a 6 is fine. So I've actually lost 2 of my normal guys for the next game, which is not great. Not great at all. So these were Dylan's team that were out at the end of the match. So this Reaver, first of all, on a D10 roll, Dylan, an 8, fully recovered, so he's fine.
Nice.
Intercessor at the front, 4, so he recovers. And this guy won a 9 or a 10. That's a 6, so fully recovered.
Fully recovered.
So no harm at all. And your leader
comes back next turn.
Whereas I've got a lot of guys out next turn.
Oh. Oh, were they all out of the match, that pile there?
No, 3.
Them
3 are totally out.
Right.
So yes, can the Genestealer cult stem the tide of the horrible, smelly, wetty dogs? Or can the Space Wolves come back and annihilate this infestation of bugs? Let's find out in Mission 3.